The Missoula Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, updates our long-range transportation plan every 4 years, but we don't start from scratch with a new project list each time. Because the plan looks out 30 years, there's a lot of overlap in projects included in each update. What's our process? As we begin the update of the long-range transportation plan, we start with our goals. As we begin the update of the long-range plan, we start with our goals. We think first about what matters most to the community and where we want to be in 30 years. And then we take a look at the projects identified in the previous long-range plan, checking off those that are done and looking at what remains. We ask ourselves, what are the changing needs of the community? And where are we seeing new pressures on the transportation system that need to be addressed? Because we update the plan every 4 years, we're able to strike a balance between long-term planning while being responsive to Missoula's current and emerging needs. This time around, we're in a period of unprecedented change in both our transportation system and in terms of technology. We need to reflect those changes in our updates. We understand that priorities shift over time, but we don't want to lose sight of the projects that have been on our list for a while. After all, by using our values to identify and score projects, we are prioritizing those that matter both today and for the future. And over time, we learn more about some of the projects and can refine them to meet current needs. A great example is the East Missoula Highway 200 corridor project. The need for this project to connect East Missoula residents with a safe multimodal corridor was identified in a previous plan, but we hadn't yet created a specific design. Now we know a lot more about what's needed and we'll be able to include that in Missoula Connect. We invite you to share your ideas for specific transportation projects in the community. You can use an interactive map or a simple online form. Go to www.missoulaMPO.com and click Missoula Connect under the Participate tab. Then click the Participate button on the LRTP page. You will find the link for the interactive map and Google form there. To use the wiki map, zoom to your area of interest using the plus and minus buttons on the left-hand side. Click and drag to move around the map. Click Draw a Line or Draw a Point and choose a category. Draw as many items as you'd like and add descriptions to each. Click on Other Submitted Ideas to add comments. We are interested to hear all types of ideas for transportation projects, whether that's a new sidewalk, a bike lane or trail, better bus service, or improvements to an intersection to make driving safer. We want you to tell us what benefit you think your project idea will have, and that helps link to the goals for the plan. If you prefer, you can simply fill out our simple online form in place of drawing lines and points on the map. Whichever format you choose, we want to get all your ideas no later than July 31st, 2020. Once we've collected all your ideas, we'll review them with the local and state transportation departments. An agency like the City of Missoula, Missoula County, or the Montana Department of Transportation must sponsor a project for it to be included in the plan. Sponsorship just means that someone owns the project and will be responsible for designing and building it if funding becomes available. But you don't have to worry about a sponsor when you submit your ideas. We need to hear about the transportation improvements you want to see in our community. Then we can get creative about how we assign a sponsor and develop new projects to address the community's needs. After we've reviewed all the projects, we will use our goals to score and prioritize them. We want to emphasize projects that will do the most to help us meet the broader goals you've defined, which include safety, connectivity, equity, sustainability, and economic vitality. These goals are really important as they reflect how the community wants our transportation system to function and what we want to achieve. Later this fall, we'll move into costs and funding. Funding for transportation projects comes from several sources. The primary source for projects in the long-range transportation plan is federal funding. However, federal dollars aren't kept up with the demand for new transportation infrastructure, so we are increasingly relying on local funds to fill the gaps. Once we have a good estimate of future revenue sources, both federal and local, we'll recommend projects for funding over the plan's 30-year period based on how well each project meets the priorities, goals, and desired outcomes of the Missoula region. Just because a project isn't recommended for funding in the plan doesn't mean it won't get constructed. We often receive grants or find other creative ways to build projects. Thank you for tuning in. We're eager to hear from you.